Hello, and welcome to Skills Development Scotland's Option Choices webinar for parents and carers. My name is Erin, and I'm a Careers Advisor with Skills Development Scotland. I'm joined tonight by my colleague Gordon, who's also a Skills Development Scotland Careers Advisor. We're really pleased to have so many of you joining us tonight from all across Scotland. Before we get going, there are a few things to mention. This session is being recorded to enable anyone who can't attend this evening to see it later and for you to watch again if you'd like to. We can't see or hear you during the session, but if you would like to make a comment or ask a question, you can do so using the Q&A box, which you will see to the right of your screen. Your questions will be picked up by our colleagues behind the scenes. We're not able to answer questions relating to a specific individual or school. However, we will give you details on how to contact your young person's SDS School Careers Advisor, who will be able to help you. We are expecting lots of questions to come in tonight, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. If we run out of time though, we will be sending you all an information sheet after this webinar, which will cover the most frequently asked questions and include all the links, information and resources we mentioned during this webinar. There will also be a link to view this webinar again, so don't worry about trying to take any notes. Tonight's session should last around 45 minutes, including time for questions at the end. So who are we? Well, as I mentioned, we are Skills Development Scotland, or SDS as you may know us. SDS is the national skills agency supporting the people and businesses of Scotland to develop and apply their skills. As part of this, we deliver Scotland's career service. Working with our partners, we aim to ensure every individual has the skills and confidence to achieve their full potential. Our careers advisors are professionally qualified experts and are in every state secondary school in Scotland, as well as having a network of SDS centres, a free phone helpline, and we're also the ones behind your careers website, My World of Work. We'll give more detail on all of this during tonight's session. You may already know what SDS Careers Advisors do and what happens when our young person meets us. But some parents and carers don't, and you might just be surprised by what we can offer. As professionally qualified experts, we take a coaching approach to delivering career guidance, and we work at the pace of the young people we're supporting. We encourage them to be actively involved when they come to meet with us, and we help them to see what they need to do for themselves, rather than telling them what to do or doing things for them. We support young people from the Primary 7 S1 transition stage right through their school journey, including at key decision times such as option choices. We do this through one-to-one discussions, class group sessions and drop-ins. SDS support in school is available to all young people, with more intensive support offered to young people with additional support or learning needs, military children, and those who are care experienced. We work together with young people and agree tasks they can do to support their career learning. This will ultimately help them develop good career management skills, which we'll explain a bit more about soon. We also support your young person in making career decisions, which at this stage is focused on them choosing the course options that are right for them. For many young people, option choices may be the first big decisions they'll make at school. This can sound a little scary, but it can also be a really exciting time for them as they are in charge. For you as parents and carers though, it might be a bit worrying thinking about all the paths your young person could take, or to hear them talk about different subjects and options that you might not be too familiar with, or even very keen on. But please don't worry. We're here to help you both with support, information, advice and guidance all along the way. As a parent or carer of a young person, you are a key influencer in their career decision making. And we will be sharing some advice and resources with you tonight to help you feel more confident to support them at this time and beyond. At option choice time, there is a chance for them to have a one-to-one conversation with their careers advisor to make sure they know about, and most importantly, understand all their options so they can make good decisions. You can join in this conversation with the advisor and your young person too by contacting your young person's school to arrange. It's important to mention their school. They will also be there for them by ensuring their option choice columns support a broad timetable, allowing them to develop skills and qualifications to support lots of career options. So although your young person is perhaps a few years away from leaving school, we think it's important to mention the changes that are happening now in the job market and the world of work. We have all seen how technology has massively changed how we work and live. The device you are using to access this webinar today is probably the best example of this. Advancements in technology have also created new job opportunities. Jobs like app developer, ethical hacker, and energy engineer are all things that didn't even exist 15 years ago, and that you couldn't have planned for when you were choosing your subjects. Change will happen, and the world of work will keep evolving, affecting not just the type of work we do, but the way we do it. Some of the predicted changes are that people will have multiple jobs and more frequent job changes, as well as having to upskill, reskill, and adapt. This can sound a little overwhelming, but it can also be exciting with lots of new opportunities and possibilities. Our approach is to equip people with the skills they need to thrive and be successful. Although we can't accurately predict the future of work, we can prepare young people for it. And we do that by helping them to develop their career management skills. I'm going to pass you over to Gordon now, who's going to tell you a little bit more about this.
Thanks very much, Erin. Career management skills are skills for life that empower us to understand ourselves and our opportunities, and they are grouped together under the themes of self, strengths, horizons, and networks. Let me tell you a bit more about each of these themes. Self is about understanding what you like, what your interests are, what your values are, and what's important to you. Strengths is about understanding what you're good at and being able to develop this further and to learn from different experiences. Horizons is about understanding what routes, pathways, and options might be available to you. And networks is about understanding who can help you and how they can help support your decisions and actions. These skills help us to make informed decisions and realise our potential at any point in our lives. If people feel confident that they have identified and developed their career management skills, then they will be much better equipped to explore and consider their career ideas and to take action to realise them. As your young person progresses through school, they will continue to develop their career management skills to help them make those big and small career decisions. Now, as Erin mentioned a moment ago, making option choices at school may be one of the first big decisions that your young person will have to make. This could be a bit daunting, but it's also a really good opportunity for you both to start thinking about the future and what they may be interested in doing. Option choices aren't about knowing what career they want to do. It is about them picking a timetable that will make them happy and that they will do well in, and that will allow them to keep their opportunities open. Thinking about career management skills, what they like, what they're good at, what's out there for them, and understanding who can help them can make the process a lot easier for you both. We're now going to share with you 5 key things for your young person to think about when they're considering their option choices and the ways that you can help support this. Our first tip, which relates to the career management skill of self, is for your young person to think about what they enjoy doing now, both in and out of school. A question we are sometimes asked by parents and carers is it not too early to be talking about making decisions about what they want to do when they leave school? Now, we are not expecting young people to know what they want to do for a career, but by starting to have these conversations now, we're able to support them to develop their career management skills and have confidence to explore their ideas and options. This will help them to make positive career decisions. Option choices is the point where they can really start to focus on what they like to do and the things they feel they will do well at. They're much more likely to be energized and passionate doing things they enjoy. So it is really important that this translates into a timetable that they're going to enjoy and look forward to. Personally, when I'm speaking to pupils who are making their option choices, an important question I focus on is, what do you enjoy? Because you really can't go wrong if you're doing something you love. Something that can be really useful for you to do together with your young person is to have them make a list of their favourite things to do, both in and out of school, and discuss what they enjoy most about them. The next top tip that we're going to give you relates to the career management skill of strengths, and that is discussing with your young person what they think they're good at. Having conversations about what subjects they're performing well in can be helpful, as often what we are good at and what we enjoy tend to go together. Finding a good balance here will give them enough of a challenge, but doesn't cause too much pressure. As well as discussing what subjects they may be good at and enjoying, talking with your young person about their own skills, strengths, and their personal qualities is a great way of supporting them to develop their career management skills. Having these types of conversations can help them understand more about their own skills and strengths in relation to their option choices. And there is plenty of support for you and your young person from ourselves and from your child's guidance or pastoral support teachers within the school. It's worth mentioning that usually there will be an opportunity to discuss option choices with teachers and careers advisors at parent and carer events in school ahead of them making their final decisions. I will now pass you back to Erin to talk about the different ways in which people learn.
This next tip also relates to the career management skill of strengths. Remember, strengths is all about getting to know and understand what you're good at. It's about your skills and how to use them in different ways. Your young person could think about not only what they like to learn, but how. For example, they may enjoy languages because they get to talk and listen, or art and design or science subjects may be more their type of thing because they get to be creative. It's important to remember that there are also some subjects that your child will need to do, like maths and English, and there might also be some new options to consider too. As parents and carers, you know your young person best, their skills, strengths, and their qualities. You can have career aspirations for them, but ultimately it's their decision to make. Encourage them to speak openly to you and others they trust, including their teachers, family members, friends, and their careers advisor. This can give them the chance to bounce ideas back and forth and help them to explore all options to enable them to make an informed decision that is right for them. Remember to stress to them that it is vitally important they do what they want to do, not what someone else tells them. It must be right for them. Knowing where their option choices can lead to in the future can help young people understand the relationship between their subjects and future career paths. The option choice tool on My World of Work is a great place to start. You can input up to 6 option choices into the tool that will then link to job profiles and industries on the site. Job profiles provide information on getting into the job and what skills and qualities are useful and help start that curiosity about the world of work. We don't want to be too specific too early, but we encourage them to be curious and for them to explore careers that inspire them. This involves getting them to think about career ideas, but in a more general way. So not thinking, I want to be a marine engineer, but thinking, I quite like engineering. And if I have maths and physics, what could I do with that? We can help them find out what qualifications and skills might be required to do certain careers and think about what kind of work environments may interest them. Some of your young people will have career ideas and some won't. By taking a mix of subjects across a range of disciplines, they can keep their options open. As we've said, the world of work is constantly changing, as are the thoughts and ideas of young people. So it's important for them to keep the doors open. As they move into the senior phase of school, there may be new options available to study and many different routes and pathways for them to consider, including subjects they haven't studied before and options including foundation apprenticeships. This is something that your young person will look at in more detail in S4, and we will be there to support them understand all the different options available. So here's some advice from S4 pupils about making subject choices who have already been through the process. Choose subjects you are good at and enjoy. Choose a wide variety of subjects. Don't choose what your friends have chosen just to be in their class. If you have a subject you want to do it. Don't worry too much. There is always another way. Speak to your careers advisor. Be honest and realistic about what you like. Listen to your teacher's advice. Do your research and find out if you need to have certain subjects for careers that you are interested in. Don't be afraid to try new subjects if you are interested in them. We've now got a quick video to show you the key areas of My World of Work that will support you and your young person with their option choices.
My World of Work is packed full of tools, articles, advice and information to help your young person make their decisions. You might even find it useful for your own career planning. We're going to spend a few minutes showing you where to find some of the resources that we recommend to help you and your young person navigate the option choice content on the site. This will hopefully help familiarise you with the site so that you feel more confident going through it together. At the top of the My World of Work homepage, you will see 3 main options. My Career Options, as you can see here, is a good place to start, as it contains tools such as the About Me, Strengths and Skills Explorer tools, and is also the Option Choices tool. The About Me tool is a short quiz that's been designed to highlight personality traits and suggest jobs that match these. Next, we have the Strengths tool. This builds on the idea of reflecting on what you're naturally good at, and again, links to related job suggestions based on that detail. And here we have the Skills Explorer tool. Using this tool will give you an understanding of what your skills are and how these relate to the world of work. This could help your young person decide which jobs they may be interested in and what to include in applications to showcase the skills they have to offer. To use these tools, the user needs to be registered on the site and be logged in. Both you and your young person can register for a My World of Work account. They may already have one if they've used it in school. Registering is easy and should only take a couple of minutes. The more tools that are completed, the more personalised the information that comes back becomes. If we now go back to the My Career Options section, you can see the button for Option Choices tool. In this section, you'll find links to further support on making option choices, as well as the Option Choices tool itself. But let's first look at the advice on how to choose which subjects are best for you. Here there's a video going through the big 5 questions to think about when making option choices. Further down the page is a link to the Future Me Option Choices magazine. You can see the magazine has information on support available from us, the big 5, information on the tools available in My World of Work, where choices could lead to, jobs of the future, and information on career management skills. This is a really useful resource to use with your young person to help with option choices. Let's go back and click on the Option Choices tool now. The tool allows your young person to enter up to 6 option choices, including foundation apprenticeship options, and find out where these choices could take them. There's also related video content, which provides further guidance around making option choices, as well as the Option Choices tool itself. You'll see on the screen I've put in 4 option choices: Maths, Computing Science, Physics, and Art and Design. When I click Show My Career Options, it will bring up a list of related career ideas and industries for me to explore. As you can see, it's returned a job profile idea here for an AR/VR programmer. I can see some information about the job and that all of the options I typed in are useful for this job. I can click into the job profile and I can then see information including what a typical day looks like, the average salary, what skills would be best suited to the role, and information on what may be needed to get into this kind of role. If I then click back, I can try out different combinations. Let's go back to the home page. As you can see here, there's a dedicated Parents and Carers section. Click here to get more information and support to help you to have effective career conversations with your young person, including option choice advice. So that was a quick overview of My World of Work, highlighting useful tools and information to support you and your young person with their option choices. We recommend you take a look at the site together at myworldofwork.co.uk.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed watching that and that you found the video useful. And I hope that if you were to look at that section on My World of Work with your young people, that you all find that useful when you're actually using it too. So let's now talk about some things that you can do with your young person at home to help them through the option choices process. Talk through all of their options and encourage them to consider the full range of opportunities that are available to them. Explore the information and tools on My World of Work together. As the previous video just mentioned, there's a dedicated area for parents and carers on the site too, to give you the help and information to have those career conversations with confidence. Encourage your young people to talk about what they're good at and what they enjoy, because it's great to hear them talk confidently about their skills and their strengths. Reassure them that there will be other opportunities to make decisions, and there are lots of different ways to get to where you want to be in life. But above all, we are here for you. You can join the option choice conversation in school too, if you feel that you would benefit from further support. The school careers advisor can be reached by contacting your young person's school directly. Okay. We would like to thank you for joining us tonight to find out more about how Skills Development Scotland support you and your young person at option choice time. We hope that you found it helpful and informative. Now, while Erin and I have been speaking, there have been a number of questions coming in, and we'd like to thank you very much for those. Some of those will have been answered directly, but we thought we would just answer a few questions as part of this presentation tonight, because there are certainly some that have come in from a few different people, so we thought we'd maybe just highlight those. One question that I've noticed coming in, which comes in quite regularly in these kind of presentations, so I thought it was a good thing to answer it here, is does every school have a careers advisor? The answer is yes. Skills Development Scotland have a careers advisor linked to every state secondary school in Scotland, offering careers advice, information and guidance. It may well be the case that depending on the size of the school, there may be more than one Skills Development Scotland careers advisor. Okay, another question that's come in is how do I find out about the entry requirements to certain careers or courses? Very good question. There are over 600 job profiles available to view as part of My World of Work that are a great starting point for investigating career paths. We mentioned them a short time ago. You can find out more about what the job involves on a day-to-day basis, as well as information on the qualifications required to get into this career, and vitally for a lot of people, what you would get paid if you were to do that job. Additionally, you can also search for courses to get information on course content, entry requirements and institution contact details, not just for college or university, but for a wide range of training providers and other relevant institutions as well. Okay, right, here's a question I thought was good to just pick up on, just to make everyone aware of the answer to this. We've been asked, when will pupils be asked to make option choice decisions? What will the column choices be on the option choice form? And how many subjects can they choose? That's a very good question, and unfortunately there's not one answer to that. All schools work to different time frames in terms of when the subjects needed to be picked and what will be in the column choices. And the schools will ensure that you are provided with all the necessary information regarding course choice structure and connected to information about options available. Schools will provide this information through their usual communication channels directly to you all. If you haven't received this information, or if you want to find out more, our advice would be to get in touch with the school directly, and they'll be able to provide you with everything that you need. Okay, we have some more questions coming in, so I will pass over to Erin to answer a few more of those.
Thank you, Gordon. I am more than happy to answer some of the brilliant questions that have been coming in tonight, and so pleased that there have been so many. I can speak for Gordon and myself as careers advisors. We love questions. I picked up on one just while you were answering some of yours there, which is a really, really vital question. And it's what is covered in different school subjects. Whoever asked this, great question. Because we've been talking already tonight, Gordon mentioned how important it is for young people to pick things that they enjoy and that they're good at. So you need to understand what's involved in each of the different school subjects so that you can make an informed choice in that way. So that's a really good thing to think about. And we've also talked about how things are changing so much, and there will be some new subjects there that maybe you or your young person aren't quite as familiar with. So it's a good idea to get as much information about what's involved in these subjects as possible. What I will say to answer that is you will find lots of information on your own school's website, where there will be information about what's involved in the different subjects at different stages and at different levels. So you should get a lot of information to start you off there. You may also find what most schools do is have parents' evening around the subject choice time, and that's an ideal time for you to speak with some of the departments and teachers offering certain subjects to get a lot more information from them about what topics are going to be covered by that particular subject. You can also get information from the SQA website, which has an A to Z list of the current course content and related information. So lots of ways that you can get that information to help your young person with their decisions. Let's see what other questions we've got coming up. I think this one's come up quite a few times, and as school careers advisors, Gordon and I will certainly have answered this question quite a few times. What if my child hasn't got a clue what they want to do and keeps mentioning different careers? Well, the first thing I would say is that's completely normal when it comes to this stage in particular and when discussing careers in general. So we've both talked this evening a lot about career management skills, and Gordon talked through those 4 stages. And that's not a case of just going through those 4 stages and that's the career decision made. It's a cycle. And your young person will keep going through thinking about things that they enjoy, thinking about their horizons for the future. And having lots and lots of different career ideas is part of that process. It's them going through the stages in their career management skills. So it's fine if they don't have any set ideas. And as Gordon mentioned earlier, we don't want them to be too specific too early anyway. We want them to explore and be curious about the career ideas that are out there. However, as parents and carers, a good way to support your young person when they're going through their career ideas is to help them to focus on the things that they enjoy and what subjects they're good at. As Gordon mentioned, you can do that exercise where you get them to write down the things that they enjoy, and that can really help them to come up with some ideas. And another thing that you can do is help them with the option choice tool on My World of Work, which should give them lots of information about how their subjects link to particular career ideas. So I'm going to choose another question. Oh, this one's a good one. How do I get them to choose subjects they like but are too afraid to do? So this one does come up quite a lot, and I think at this stage, if it's a subject that's perhaps new to your young person, that can cause a certain amount of anxiety. Or perhaps it's a subject that they really love, but none of their friends are taking it, so they don't feel quite as confident to go into that class. So in these cases, it's really about a combination of getting more information and also relying on the wider support network in school. So in terms of information, it could be speaking to your pastoral care or guidance teachers or the particular departments who are running the subject that your young person is interested in, and finding out a little bit more about what's involved to give them a little bit more confidence of knowing what's going to be involved in that class. It's also a really good idea to speak to the relevant teachers, speak to guidance staff, and remember the careers advisor is always there to support them too. And what we can do is talk through what career ideas might be linked to certain subjects to give them a little bit more confidence to see where that pathway might lead to the future.
Thanks very much, Erin. Thanks for those questions. There were some very good questions coming in there, and I hope that Erin's excellent answers put your minds at rest with some of those things. I think we've maybe got time for just a couple more questions, if that's okay. One that I've seen coming in from a couple of different people, and one that we as careers advisors are asked quite frequently in lots of different scenarios. Is the question of what are national qualifications and where can I find out more information about the different qualifications in school and after school. Now, the question about national qualifications is a completely understandable one. I'm maybe showing my age here when I point out that the term national qualifications was not really spoken about, was not really discussed when I was at school. I'm sure that for the vast majority of the parents and carers watching us tonight, that would have been the same. In short, the most common qualifications that your young person will do in school are SQA, national qualifications, and hires. Now, hires is probably a term that we're all familiar with from our time at school. National qualifications, generally speaking, are kind of equivalent in value to the standard grades that I did when I was at school, and I'm sure many of you did as well. For more information on the levels of the different national qualifications, The best advice I can give you would be to visit the qualifications pages on My World of Work, which go into a lot of information about the various qualifications that are offered. You could also, if you want to do so, have a look at the Scottish Credit and Qualifications Framework, or SCQF. That can help you to understand the main Scottish qualifications offered by schools, colleges, universities, training providers, and various other relevant organisations. You can find information on that on My World of Work, or if you simply Google SCQF, you would be able to find information for that as well. Right, time is marching on. I'd like to thank everyone who submitted the questions. I think we've maybe got time for one more to mention. I noticed that someone's asked a question which actually picks up on something that Erin mentioned briefly earlier on. So this would maybe be a good one to mention, because it's something that may become more well known over the next few years. And that is, what is a foundation apprenticeship? Now, a foundation apprenticeship is something that your young person is likely to be offered as part of their option choices in future years. It's a work-based learning opportunity for senior phase pupils. And in terms of the content, it's a chance for your young person to try something new and develop their important career management skills, which can help them to make up their mind about what they want to do for a job in the future. Now, typically, a foundation apprenticeship is taken as an option choice in either S5 or S6, so quite a few years away for the children of people watching this video. And young people spend time out of school at college or with a local employer, and they complete their foundation apprenticeship alongside their other subjects, like their National 4s, National 5s, or Highers. Most foundation apprenticeships give young people a qualification at the same level as a Scottish Higher, with some available at SEQF level 4 or 5, in other words, the same as a National 4 or National 5 qualification. The foundation apprenticeships that are available will differ area by area. As I say, they're often in partnerships with local college. More information, including what foundation apprenticeships are available at your young person's school, can be found on the website www.apprenticeships.scot, which is a really good source of information for the availability of a wide variety of apprenticeships. So I think, I'm just keeping an eye on the clock, that's probably all the questions we've got time for tonight. We'd like to thank everyone who submitted a question. We hope that the information you've given you has answered it, but you'll see on screen now the various different ways you can keep up to date with what we're doing, and also how to get in touch with us for more information and support. If we weren't able to answer your question in the time allocated to us tonight, as you can see, there are a number of ways to get in contact with Skills Development Scotland. Now, please don't worry if you aren't able to take all of these details down. They will be included in the information email that's going to be sent out to you after this session. And that includes a link to be able to watch this session again, should you want to do so. Now, remember, the SDS School Careers Advisor in your young person's school can be reached by contacting the school directly. You can visit your career website, My World of Work, at www.myworldofwork.co.uk. You can find your nearest SDS centre at myworldofwork, all one word, .co.uk/centres. Generally speaking, there will be at least one Skills Development Scotland centre in every local authority area in the country, sometimes more than one, depending on the size of the area. You can contact us by phone by calling 0800 917 8000. That number is available Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 5 PM. Or you can join us on Facebook by searching Facebook.com/My World of Work, all one word, or over on Twitter at MyWowScotland. But all that's left to say is thank you very much indeed for listening to us. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. On behalf of both Erin and myself and the other people involved in this session tonight, we wish you and your young person all the best at this time and in the future. Thanks very much.